All right, we're live. How's it going, Kieran?
Hey, what's up? It's
New
stream day.
stream day, new model launch day. I feel like these days are coming faster and more furiouser every week.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's exciting.
yeah. I know we had the 3 hour last time. So is it now like the new format to do like 6 hour streams? Like
I I guess so. Which I don't know how that's going to really work with my schedule, but we have
we're
to.
here. We'll see. No, we're not doing 6 hours, but yeah.
So I'm just tweeting the live stream so people have it. Um, and I'll let you all know we're doing this live. I'm currently in Mexico City and I'm sick, as you can tell. So just trying to. I'm here. I'm staying hydrated.
Send
No,
love to Dan. Be nice.
um,
If you're in Mexico City, he likes pastries and
yes, feel
fresh
free to
juice.
send me hydration. Um, okay, so we're vibe checking the new model. It's called Spark. It's from OpenAI. It's a Codex model. It's available now for pro subscribers in the app and in the CLI. We've been testing it for a week or so. It's really freaking fast. It's their first model that's on Cerebras hardware, and it's about 1,000 tokens a second is what I read on their blog, and you can tell like the thing I keep saying is like it feels like it's blowing my hair back when it's working. Um, I think like my current vibe check on it is in terms of whether I use it every day. I use it for certain tasks that like it's not as smart as 4.6 or 5.3. So I use it for certain tasks where I need a ton of speed, but I don't care as much about the smartness. So like write the changelog update for this thing, or like go check some of our metrics for like our growth numbers today, like that kind of thing, where it's not too complicated and it's just really freaking good for that. Kieran, what do you think so far?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like there has been a trend of like faster models already, but this is the first one from OpenAI that is at a level where you're like, okay, like this is very usable and very good. For example, Composer was there in the past. One and a half is there. There's a fast mode in Anthropic as well, but this one is really fast. And for these models, like Dan said, like yes, if you do the work and it's a little bit less smart, it's easy to say, this is not a model for me. I just only want the best model. But you should think about it a little bit different because this model is really good at speed. So when do you need speed? And for me, I need speed when I'm in the flow, for example. So like one of the things I don't like about Codex, ultra effort, high, go all the way is that if you kick off a task, like you waste 10 minutes and you go to X or you go do something else, which is fine sometimes, but sometimes you just are in the flow and it's very disruptive. And I think speed here might actually be a great trade-off where speed is more important in giving you value because you iterate faster than like the model being the smartest. Like there is a place for both, I think, and that's very interesting. And I just that's where I'm thinking like, where do you use this model? And Dan has some really good examples. Like I've, for example, when I'm brainstorming, that's a place where I want to iterate quickly and just like go like have a conversation and like explore 20 options and say I don't like any of them, do 20 more and then find one, like that kind of interaction. And or read everything people said from the last 100 days and just tell me what the sentiment is. Like if that is quick, there's more value to get out of it, and it doesn't mean it writes the code yet. So I think this model is maybe really good at either like like vibe coding, where you say this is just, let me get a feel what I'm going to build, like just do a prototype, do something like that, just that. It's probably not the model you should use to like do deep research and like figure out a nasty bug. But it's yeah, it's very interesting that we have these options now. They're fast and the slow, and the really fast yeah, it's very smart compared to compared to less smart or less fast models from other providers. So that's cool.
Yeah, and I think I think you're totally right. I think it's pretty clear that speed is a form of intelligence. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's not just like what is the smartest. Like speed is a factor in intelligence. I've been trying to share my screen, and something is not quite working. I don't know why. Let me see. Did someone press cancel on my screen share? I assume they didn't, but just in case. Okay, let me just add this. Okay, can you see my
Yeah,
screen?
you're there. Yep. Hmm.
All right, cool. Thank God. Okay, so I want to give like a really quick demo of like of it, so we can just like look at how fast it is. So I'm in the Codex app, and I'm using the model right now. And I'm saying, can you please write release notes for everything on main? And did you just see like
Oh,
all the
it.
tickets were
Sorry,
growing?
it went away on
It went
the
away.
moment you
No,
on the moment it was too fast. Then
it was
it crashed the stream.
too much speed. Okay, let's try this one more time. I don't really know what's going on. Why it would be like canceling my screen. Yeah, it just my screen share just keeps being canceled. So, Kieran, do you want to actually do a demo while I'm figuring out what this is?
Yes.
Great.
Let me see if my screen. Maybe restart your browser or
Yeah,
something.
I'm gonna restart. If
Yeah,
Austin, if I leave, is this gonna mess up the stream?
Nah,
it
you good.
shouldn't.
No. Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay, then I go share my screen.
Cool. I'm gonna add it.
Cool. Okay, I'm in the terminal. You can select a model with Spark. I have it set to extra high. I like the smartest. It's not the fastest, but it's good. So what I want to try, like I was thinking like what are things I need to do that I can show as an example here. So I've a repo here, which is my compound engineering plugin, which you can run in Codex, which is nice. And there are a bunch of issues. So I want to see if I can just do a triage and see if it can pull out some things and maybe brainstorm on what like the next thing I should work on. So let me do that. Can you look through all of these issues? Can you read them all? Use subagents, do this in parallel, and can you come up with themes of issues people have, group them together, and yeah, then we'll go from there.
All right. I'm back.
Cool.
Great.
Kieran's running a query now.
Okay, you
Sweet.
can see finally subagents in Codex. Thank you.
Do you see how fast that is? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's and this is like the slowest version of it as well.
Why is it the slowest version? Because you put extra high thinking on?
I have extra high, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's now spawning the agents, which is great. So we don't see
Oh,
how fast it is now, but it's very fast.
I
So I'm
have
pulling, yeah,
I haven't used subagents in Codex. Are they good?
yeah, they work, which is what I want.
Yeah.
They're interesting because they're different kinds of agents. So it's a little bit different philosophy, but I think it airs between sub agents and like swarms in Claude. So it's kind of an interesting take, but it speeds up a lot of stuff, which is great.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Whoa!
there we.
Look
So
at
okay, like I love how fast the tokens go, and I someone shout out Composer as well. I think the first time I felt excited about a dumber model was Composer one, and I think I feel the same again with this, where I'm like, okay, but this one, like it just is a workhorse in some way, and I can really get stuff done. Okay, let me run a workflow brainstorm, which is like before planning in a combat engineering workflow, there's like a brainstorm flow now, which means I don't really know what I'm working on or what I wanted to do, but like help me come up with that. So I'm going to run that, and I think it's great for these. Okay, just look at the previous conversation. Thanks. So this is like me, like it's in inside Codex. compound engineering is still experimental, so we're still having things like where it doesn't really understand the context, stuff like that. But yeah, it's going pretty fast. Reading through, it's looking at. So this is interesting. It's looking at the plugin itself as well, looking at the comments, and probably we're going to gem now. Okay, yeah, this is the thing. Okay, so there's a bug, agent type mismatch. This is the thing. They have like worker agents and research agents or something like that, or orchestration agents. This is the only thing, OpenAI, if you're listening, like the sandboxing and everything is still like it's better than it was, but still, that's the only place. Okay, so it's waiting for the agents. I don't know how fast it goes, but it goes with thousands of tokens.
That's the interesting thing is like you might be looking at this being like, I don't know, I don't see how fast this is, but there's so many tokens being like blown through right now. It's pretty wild. Like while we're waiting for this, I want to show you something.
Yeah.
Let me just so like watch this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, can you write a blog post about proof? And like watch this. Okay, so it's reading, it opens a skill. Blog post.
Boom. Yeah. Blink.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. That's insane.
You can do like it's like real time blog post. You just blink and it's a new blog post. Yeah.
And so like that just changes a lot when you can generate that much text in that little time. That's like relatively smart. I think it changes all the bottlenecks in how you program and how you think about like reviewing code and all that kind of stuff. So I think this is like a first step in a new paradigm of coding models that are this fast.
Yeah, like look, I just asked something and it immediately gives me. Okay, so let's go. So I'll here. Let me. Okay, I want you to give me 1, 2, 3 questions every time to steer, and I want you to make sure to interview me so we can see what we should work on, and also think a little bit yourself. So like now we're primed. It has all the context. It's all loaded. We have 68% left. So like this is cool. Like this feels now more like I'm having a conversation because I'm never waiting. So now I'm reading. Okay, so command workflow, reliability, install setup, compatibility, context performance, reliability. So, okay, let's go brainstorm around context and performance. So you can see my speech to text is the same speed almost as just the output, which is cool. Like it's suddenly me talking takes as long as a model responding, which makes me feel like probably at some point this will talk to me as well. Because it's fast enough, right?
I talked to the team yesterday about this, and that's where they're going with this. Is like, it's going to be all voice, and it'll be really fast on interrupts and all that kind of stuff. So you can just talk to your computer, and it writes code for you.
Okay, so how can we make outcomes matter is that if you want it to be fast, it can be fast, or maybe it should be fast when it should be fast, and it should be deep and slow. This is actually, if you use fast models, it should be super fast. If you use deep models, it should be slower. Maybe that's something we can explore in the plugin. So I'm kind of seeing like, hey, can we add this idea of fast and slow to compound engineering? Where you're like, hey, I'm in this mode. Okay, so great. Okay.
Well, let's pause here because
this
model is able to produce like text faster than you can think.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's like totally weird and different. And if it can produce that much text and that much thinking, the ergonomics of it change where it has to know that it's too fast. And what I actually heard from the OpenAI team yesterday is they actually slowed this down artificially. So this isn't even the fastest that the model can go. They slowed it down artificially so that it's like less disconcerting because like we're still not used to this level of speed.
yeah, like you see me, I see it like, bloop, and I'm like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Because normally you're waiting for like thinking or this or that. Okay, so let's go a little bit. Let's push it a little. Let's do like a chain of thought or something like that. Maybe a chain of thought is even like within a blink. So
Right.
okay, I have this idea of like you're in a mode. So either you're in like a fast mode or a deep mode, and that's conscious because one is you're actually in it doing iterations, and the other one just needs to go more like Ralph loop, doing it, iterating, fixing. Can you do a chain of thought and really think deeply, make a plan, and then decide what you think is like a good way to implement that in the philosophy of this repository and this plugin and maybe something like that. Let's go.
Burp, I'm gonna try your prompt in Spark and see what it does.
You're gonna need like a 2-gallon jug before you
Yeah.
try this prompt.
All right, make me $1 billion. 3 seconds, go.
Okay, we don't see your screen yet. Can you share Dan's screen as well?
Wait, hold on. Wait. All right, share. Entire screen. Done. Okay. Make me $1 billion SaaS in 3 seconds, go.
2, 3. Okay, it did it.
But we got a refusal, unfortunately. You can't make a guaranteed $1 billion SaaS in 3 seconds, but you can start a real one now. Okay. Make the best possible thing you can in the next turn as quickly as you can. Make it runnable. Now. All right. I'm completely nuking this repo for this product that I'm supposed to launch tomorrow by doing this.
Maybe you'll make $1 billion. Maybe this is the missing piece then.
The first $1 billion copy editing.
Yeah. Maybe it just changes the price to like 100,000 and someone will buy it for
Let's
a
just find
joke.
one customer.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
What is interesting with this model is like normally the tool calls are the fast part, but now the tool calls are actually the slow part. So like
Right?
the tokens are going faster than the tool calls, which
And
is
that opens up all
crazy.
the questions like when should you write code versus just like produce more tokens?
Yeah.
You know? Like it used to be that you would write code to make things faster and more deterministic. And now it's like actually you only need to write code when you need it to be more deterministic. And if price isn't a question, which soon I think price will be very cheap on this kind of thing, you might just want to like just make the tokens go burr, you know?
Yeah. And also like context management is doing work. That's kind of funny. Yeah. So also token like context management is also an interesting thing because it might be that going back to like a mega prompt now is actually a reason because tool calls are kind of slow and interruptive. And if you have a mega prompt, you just get like an answer in 1 second. Maybe that is something you want. So maybe this is also like mega prompt revival or something like that. It might be interesting.
That's interesting.
So yeah, so one other like because with product like I built Cora, which is an AI email assistant, and we have it. We have a
Here's our
SaaS
SaaS
engine.
Generate an execution grade startup score and launch plan in seconds. Okay, I don't really necessarily think that this is $1 billion SaaS, but it did do it very fast. So 1 out of 2.
Yeah, the design is also not the most $1 billion looking, but
get
yeah.
rid of all of this.
Thankfully, you can also get rid of everything very quickly too. So
Well, let's hope it
Yeah.
doesn't delete other stuff. Like I'm curious what it'll do. This is an interesting question.
Yeah.
It sounds like from seeing y'all work with this a bit that like one thing I'm taking away is that like it's dramatically changing how you can even consider like working with a tool like this and you like haven't quite figured it out yet. Is that right? Of like, how can I even approach something this fast? It's
Hmm.
like such a leap that you're still sorting that out yourself.
Yeah, and also like in production use cases, like you don't need to like do stuff because it's so fast that you can just do it real time. Like suddenly that would make building applications easier. Like if you do a summary of an email, for example, maybe you never do the summary until you look at it because it's so fast. Like you don't need, it's just a blink. So like it opens up other production implications as well, but for work for sure as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also it's like we don't really know how to use it, and I think that we also don't like OpenAI and other model companies don't know yet how to make a model that's this fast useful
Mhm.
because, for example, if it outputs like like it outputs a blog post in like less than a second, and that means it can output like a new code file in a second or two, and it can output 10 new code files in like 10 seconds, and so
Hmm.
the question then becomes like, how do you make all of that new stuff consumable and checkable and verifiable? Uh,
Yeah.
because the experience of this is like you're like, holy shit, I'm kind of like overwhelmed. Like there's like too much to read right now. Um, and I think we haven't now that we can generate at this speed, we need to be able to consume at this speed. And I don't think that the UI affordances have been built for that yet.
Yeah. And I think this is just augmenting the problems you already feel. Like we already kind of feel that, but it just makes it 10 times more apparent
Yeah.
because like we don't even have time to scroll our X feed. Like
Yeah.
there's literally no time. It's just like it's constant. It's like having a person that's very very good at what they do, never sleep, and very hyper and very interesting, and you love them, but also you're like, stop it once in a while. Like it's too much. You're too much. And I guess that might be a feeling you have, but that's fine. You can not use it. So and also one thing, like sub agents might be very cool. Like if you do this with many sub agents.
Definitely.
Yeah, because then you don't need to look at all the tokens and you can use a synthesized pattern and all of that. And because that with the compound engineering flow, for example, like if you do review, that takes pretty long normally. Like it takes I can try it one with Spark as well, but like it takes 5 to 10 minutes, which is something you walk away from. But if it takes maybe 30 seconds, that's already like, that is not overwhelming, that's just better in
Yeah.
that use case. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Underground Signal Bird said fast models are useful in a recursive agent orchestration architecture. Instead of asking one model, you ask 50 super fast models that all fact check each other. I think that's right. And like, there's also the orchestrator agent. It's like maybe you ask the 5.3 or the Opus 4.6 to be the orchestrator, and it just sends out 1,000 super fast models to like do the exploration that it needs to do, and then Opus is the one that gives you the result rather than having to like process all the tokens from like the 1,000 super fast models. And I do think like the ergonomics that are needed for these models change if you're thinking about it as this is a model I use directly versus this is a model that an orchestrator uses for me. And there's a lot more like design room for this is a model that an orchestrator uses because it doesn't have to be something that a human can keep up with.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
the, yeah, like I'm still like, I know I should spin up like 10 versions and all of that, but for me it's still the easiest to use one model, but then the smarter model, because I just like it's less variable and random.
yeah.
um so yeah, I see that, and but maybe this model is smart enough, like maybe it went over that threshold as a fast model where suddenly it becomes very usable. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
totally.
wanna here. I wanna run like my review command on
Yeah, let's show it.
both Spark
Let's
and
show us.
so prompt. Um, so I'll do left, right. I'll just do the review. The right one is GPT 5.3 and left is Spark, and you can just see A/B, like what insane difference this is. Like it uses context also pretty quickly, which makes me a little bit worried. Like here, it's
Wow.
71%, and it's yeah.
Wow. Fuck. But I'm
And I
curious how
mean,
the
yeah,
review is though, like how the review compares. Like that's
yeah.
all.
If one is better than the other, yeah, like because in the end, you like it's good to choose one or the other. I think we need both. I think there's not one or the other, but like it is very handy if you're in the flow to go faster. And maybe you run the fast one first, and you do like a less extensive but maybe deeper review after. So there's like this interplay between models, and maybe sub agents, like some do the fast models, some don't. Um, yeah. Yeah, so on the right, it's starting to plan what agent it should work, and on the left, it's already waiting for all the agents, and most of them already completed. So like it's insane the difference in speed. Yeah, what is the pricing then? Do you know?
I actually don't. They just launched it in Pro, so basically the only people who can use it as of today are Pro users, which I think is $200 a month. And it's only available in the API for like limited design partners because I think they're not even sure how it's useful yet, and it's on Cerebras, so like I don't think that they're ready to totally
They
scale
don't
it.
have the big skill, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't really pay for it yet, except get it through your Pro subscription.
Hmm. Well, I think this review will finish. Yeah, so it finishes in 2 minutes, probably, or like 3 minutes. And you can see the agent sub agent system is experimental, so you can just do /experimental to toggle that on. I would highly recommend that.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that they have that in the app yet, which is where I mostly am doing
Hmm.
most of my work. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, they should, because especially for context management, I think it's essential, and like speed as well. So especially with like the slower models, it's good. Um, okay, it's spawning more agents. Okay, it's completing. So I think still, like, this is still not as fast as 30 seconds for a review. Um, so like it's interesting because this review thing, like I was thinking maybe that is handy to use. So like it's still running for minutes, and I think for minutes you still go away. Like we're like, oh, now wait, we're waiting now.
Yeah,
And so I don't think this model is going to make a difference in tasks like this, because yeah, sure, it's faster, but like I have to wait either way. So it's like places where you don't have to wait. So if we go back to this brainstorm, I think this is a better use of it, because so let me just see if we can get some plan out of this. Okay, so that sounds good. We can toggle a certain thing. How should we expose whether we're in fast mode or not? Is an argument the best? How should we do that? What are some options? Give me some ways. Yeah, maybe the sub agents actually make it slower. Okay, so actually it is finished here. That was like 3 minutes. Maybe let's run one more without sub agents. I think that's a fun idea too, because then we can see more. Wow. Model Spark. And maybe let's go medium or high. You do high normally, right?
yeah.
Okay, let's do high, and let's subagents off. So experimental, yeah, they're off. Workflows, review. So if you want this installed, you just go to the compound engineering repo and you can install it on Codex experimental. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the right one is running it without subagents. That might be way faster. Yeah, and so Arvind says, like, using Codex Spark for implementation. My only question will be like, sure, but if you have to wait for it, still, like, why not get the better model? And maybe that's fine implementation, because normally the planning, if the planning is done well, then it's just work, and maybe that's nice. But I'm like, also, like, sometimes things are missed in the planning, and yeah. So
Yeah, I did a head-to-head test of this
yeah.
yesterday, 2 days ago, where I had a plan, and then I had 5.3 and Codex 5.3 and Spark implement the same plan, and the Codex 5.3 code was just better. I had Opus do a code review and like a blind code review of both, and it picked 5.3. And I agree with that. It was just more comprehensive. It obviously like thought through corner cases. It had more tests. Like it had a bunch of that kind of stuff. So I do think that OpenAI is more explicitly thinking about this as a vibe coding model. So if you're building a project from scratch, like it might be worth looking at. The thing about it that I don't like as much for vibe coding, the reason I would still pick Opus 4.6 as a vibe coder is just the Codex family of models are still a little bit senior engineering-y and a little bit they don't like vibe aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
And I think Codex,
Filling in the blanks, like being
and I think
creative.
Opus is just better at that. So
I often find as someone who's like purely a vibe coder with no technical background that being in Codex more, I'm just like saying more often, I need you to explain this to me like I'm really stupid in a way that I like have to say less in Opus 4.6. But I also, and looking at this, the thing that makes me excited about on the fast model is a lot of knowledge work stuff, like disconnected from engineering, of like, if it's connected to, for instance, all of our growth tools and our data, and I don't need it to do as much like high level reasoning, but I want to like chat back and forth with it. Like I'm going to take 30 minutes to like really understand our, like what's happening for this picture today. I can sit with it and get what I need back and forth potentially pretty quickly, rather than getting distracted by letting it run a query and then come back to it.
Do you have any demos that you feel like you could show of?
I've been trying to get access to it in the Codex app, and I don't know if I'm on it, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you have.
Do you have Pro?
Like I think so, but I've been trying to get it on in the background. Dan, you have some version of Montaigne installed.
I do. Yeah. I could probably do it.
If you just want to, like, we could do that for. Like we could even like audit our YouTube channel back and forth if the YouTube OAuth is live.
I have that. I have
so
a couple.
Here, quickly, we ran it on the right, which was without subagents, 1.5 minutes-ish, with subagents 4 minutes. So clearly subagents are slowing things down because we need to pass context and synthesize and all of that, which is interesting. So Arvind was right, but also 26% context left. There's not a lot of space in this model to like go like that. So like that's another thing. The other one is still going. It will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. But interesting, yeah.
And Arvind, I agree with you. I had the same thought. It could be a really good model for OpenClaw. Unfortunately, it's not available in the API yet, except to some limited design partners. We're talking to OpenAI about getting access in the API. So as soon as we have that access, we'll try it out in OpenClaw and let you know what we find. But I want to try doing some more knowledge worky type tasks with it. Before we do that, I just want to take a second to let everybody know that it's really important to stay hydrated. I'm here in Mexico City. I'm sick, and I'm drinking bee water, which is mineral natural. It's agua premia mexicana, and it's what's keeping me going. Vibe checking. This is our fourth I think it's our fourth vibe check in the last 2 weeks, and there's just a lot to keep up with. And so, if you want to keep up with the edge of AI, you have to stay hydrated.
Cheers.
I'm out, unfortunately, but this is my fast model guy. It's already used up all of its quantity, unfortunately, but I keep this here for the fast models.
I love it. Very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to try a knowledge work task. So we have this thing that Austin built called Every Growth OS, and it's basically just like has connections to all of our like our YouTube, our Stripe account, like all that kind of stuff to like help us figure out how we're growing, how well we're growing. It also has a CFO skill that Brandon built. And we like a question I might have is like we launched our an events page on Every 2 days ago. So like how did that change our cash flow? Like look at our Stripe, and I might just say, and I'll just ask it to go. And this skill is not optimized right now because it was written by Brandon for Brandon's Claude Code workflow, so I haven't like fully fixed it.
But normally Claude would be able to figure it out.
Yeah, and
So
it does look like it is figuring it out. So it's like a path mismatch.
okay,
So
nice. Nice.
So now I think it's starting to query. It's doing some date queries, and now it's up to pulling the Stripe info, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool that skills are adopted everywhere. Like it is really handy
It is
because
really
you can
nice.
just jump from whatever you created to any other tool, which is really nice.
Okay, I've got the right data path. Now I'm executing a direct Stripe pull and deriving the incremental cache velocity signal. That sounds fancy. So it seems like it's running into some issues like writing correct bash. These are somewhat complicated bash scripts.
But again, the computer is the bottleneck, not or like the slowest part, the tool call.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the knowledge base it's connected to is the thing that's slowing it down.
Yeah, I bet like if we just spent a little bit of time optimizing the skill, we could have this an answer. It would give you an answer in like 10 seconds.
I wonder, are you OAuth into our YouTube from here?
Let me see.
I wonder like how fast it could just like give us an analysis of the YouTube channel.
Let's see. No. No.
Okay, we gotta update this.
I don't think it's like I think it's sort of lying to me right now. Yeah. I confirmed that it has YouTube OAuth. No. I need an OAuth token if you want to give me one.
Cool. I'll grab it.
Just paste it in the public chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Everyone can have access to our YouTube.
Read only.
All right. So, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, if someone asks how's the reasoning, like I don't even know if it's reasoning because it's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can toggle the depth with the high or the low, but like they're all very fast. I think the question is more like how does it stack up against the slower models or the 5.3s?
Yeah.
And I think it's like it misses some stuff and loops around a little bit. So for certain harder problems, maybe those are still more effective. But yeah,
So
like it
yeah, go for it.
There you go.
The it worked for 3 minutes, which is like longer than it should have, and it had to do a lot of like I think a lot of this 3 minutes is it just kind of figuring out, okay, I'm dropped into this repo
Hmm.
that I'm not optimized for. What are the right commands to run? But it did find, I think, the right thing, which is we launched an event page 2 days ago, and people are starting to buy like courses and stuff from us, and so that changes how much cash we make. And it found that the events page launch boosted our cash flow by 176% from the 2 days before to 2 days after. So it like it's the and this matches my intuition about it. So
Hmm.
basically, it helps us answer these kinds of questions like pretty quick that might have ordinarily only been something that. Oh, sorry, was I not sharing my screen?
No, not now. Sorry, it's not shared now.
Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen this whole time. It's so funny. Did it get canceled
I think it
again?
just dropped. Yeah, it must have dropped again.
Um,
Yeah, you're
so
back.
it said it worked for 3 minutes. Yeah, it basically like it found all the right data. It found all the site data for the 2 days previous and the 2 days after the event page launch, and then did the right math to find that we're actually like up pretty substantially since we launched an events page, and that should probably change our forecast, which is something that's a really important question for us as a business is like how much money are we expecting to make and how much spending can we do and all that kind of stuff, and it happens very fast.
Hmm. Yeah, so this is mostly just like your agents, and they could have got all this or just the setup. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe another model would have figured it out more quickly. So maybe that's not the model to use it for
Good question.
that. But
I
yeah,
can ask Opus 453.
yes. Let's see what it does if it. Yeah.
And Austin, it's Spark is showing up in my model picker now, so it should be showing up for you if
Alright,
you're on a
cool.
pro plan. I don't know, or what's the? It's not only on a specific plan.
Yeah, I'll check. I dropped in the private chat the credentials if you want to try to hook up YT.
Yeah, I will.
So while we're talking, I'm also continuing this feature on compound engineering for fast and slow. It's just
Okay.
searching the web now. It's doing some deep research since we have Codex, OpenCode, Cloud Code all supported. Actually, we have Droid now as well, and Droid. Um, and it's seeing if we can make like a fast and a slow mode or like a fast and a deep mode where in fast we just do less, but it might be very good as well. I do see my context go down very quickly. That's my worry, but maybe compaction will go very fast. So let's see the auto compact as well. Maybe it doesn't take 3 minutes. Maybe it's like a second.
I found the
Okay.
compaction is super fast.
Okay, great. Well, like I know people always say that they don't like compaction and want to do their bespoke whatever handoff, but I just think OpenAI and Anthropic should get their shit together and just make it work. And I'm just leaning on them. And if they have bugs, yeah, sure. But like if it works, it works. I think this is just a non thing, and then we shouldn't try to fix ourselves. So they should just figure that out. So
I agree.
ideally, I don't even see my percentage of context in the corner. It just keeps going forever. But
Yeah.
yeah. Um, okay, so it did come up with the full plan, which is cool. Let's see. Um, you create a plan file. Let's push this over the. Okay, okay, well, it compacted very quickly.
Yeah. It's like you don't have to wait
I
for
don't
it.
even see it. Like, it was an eye blink, so this is great. OpenAI, please remove the context lab. It just makes me anxious. Just have it magically work. Or, Yeah, it's like it goes from, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's really going. Um, oh, environment subagent limit. Great. So clearly, I'm hitting limits left and right with this model, which is kind of the point of compound engineering, is like pushing the system to the furthest, and it's not made for the fast models necessarily, but as long as it recovers and just does something. Oh, okay. So I can use it. Okay. Arvind, thanks. I'm a noob in Codex. I can remove the context left with the status line. So there is a status line command now as well in Codex, apparently. I know in Claude there is. So thanks. I will remove it. Okay. So I have, like, this is interesting because the planning phase went very fast. Like, this just feels different. Like I was saying, like if I have to wait, I have to wait. But I have to say, sometimes you just forget about something, and here I have to wait, but didn't forget about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Like I did something. This was still running, but it was fast enough to like keep in my head. I didn't forget about it, because I do forget about it if it takes like 10, 15 minutes. So that is cool. Let's create an issue. And then we have an artifact of all of this. And this is also nice. Like I have this way where I have it interview me. I love this as well. So maybe let's go back to one of these reviews. Okay, so it created a GitHub issue. Normally here, yeah, let's go to this one. So we're in the fast. So now there's a command called triage. And triage basically reads the found issues in the review, and it will then go over them one by one. And it's always kind of annoying because it's kind of slow, but this should feel very fast and like should help me. Okay, so it's reading this, it's looking for all the things it found, and whenever it's done, it shows. Yeah, okay. Wait, one by one, please. Okay, so this prompt, like I feel the following of prompt, it behaves a little bit different, but this is cool. Like so this is very fast. So normally this is like P1. Oh, it's found something. I'm like, yes, do this. I do one, and normally that takes a while. Like it's still working. What I do normally in Claude, I go to haiku because it just goes faster. I don't know. I guess this is working. It's just doing. This is thinking maybe, or reconnecting. Oh, maybe they have capacity issues. Yeah. Okay. There it is. So that is cool. Like I'm here. Okay. Reliability. I don't care about this. Poof. Next. And this is a very nice way to go through stuff that's found. So if you want to review a bunch of things that AI found, this is my way to triage it, basically, where it just goes through and say, oh, this is also not important to, yeah. So for this use case, it's great. Yeah.
I'm back.
So
Sorry, internet problems.
All
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Kieran, when you're done with this, I can show some of the
Yeah.
knowledge of YouTube stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I was just finishing up here. Like this is a nice use case for the triage command. We created a GitHub issue for this research plan. It feels good to use it for brainstorming and planning. Yeah. Then
Cool.
you go with your.
Let's see the YouTube thing before I got hot.
Yeah, let's do that. So let me just share my screen. So basically, like we talked about earlier about how we have in every OS that Austin built.
I don't see the screen yet. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, cool. It basically has all of our OAuth codes and skills to like get all of our growth stuff. So I asked this new model, Spark, can you look up our YouTube performance for the last month? And it took about almost 30 seconds, which is like that's actually, I think, a lot faster than Opus or 5.3. I think they would probably have taken like a minute or a minute and a half. And it gave us really good, like, gave me really good analytics. And I asked it to compare to the previous month. This time it worked for 25 seconds. I asked it to add February because it only added the like most complete month. So it's basically like 30 seconds to a minute to like get you a really detailed report on something like YouTube performance, which I think is a more ergonomic experience than like 5.3 codecs or Opus would be.
Yeah, I often find when I'm doing this kind of work that I'll do the query and then I'm like that kind of like 90-second to 2-minute wait means that I'll leave and go like respond to Discord messages or check something. But if it's under
Yeah.
30 seconds, I'm excited to use it to see if I'm like I probably need 30 seconds to read and digest these numbers anyway, and it does feel like it could act as more of a live thought partner for this kind of thing.
Totally. Yeah. It makes a difference. And yeah, it's really nice to just have this available to ask these kind of questions anytime.
Yeah. And like sometimes it comes up in knowledge work too that you're like, oh shit, this meeting's actually in 7 minutes. We actually just we were doing a retro on our like crazy vibe check from last week. And Kate and I were trying to get the numbers literally 5 minutes before the meeting. And this happens. And that's a good use case for like, knock this out right now. I need it to be prepared for this meeting.
Totally. Oh, looks like my share got canceled again. I don't understand.
Oh, I assumed you were done sharing.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to make
canceled sure you.
Automatic. Like, no, you're done. No more sharing.
That's enough sharing of our YouTube numbers. I'm gonna hop to go look at another new thing we're gonna beta test. Kieran, if Dan drops again, it's all you for
yes.
I'm going to keep running this thing. I'll see y'all.
See ya.
Yeah.
I think there's an interesting question. Like, I think that's something I don't know. Like, it's from Saga, long name. Is this where models like Flash and Haiku should be heading? And then about cost as well, because I don't know if this is a premium model or if this is a cheap model, because normally what we assume is fast models are cheap models. And maybe this is a new kind of model. Like I feel this is more of like the composer, but I also don't know if that's a premium model or not. Like it's a fast model. I'm just curious. Maybe it's a new category of models.
It could be a new category. I would guess that, like, I think Composer, I don't think of Composer as a premium model.
No.
I think it's like that's the standard model that just ships.
Yeah.
So I would guess that this is.
But is this like this? Could feel like a premium model in some way, like because it is like maybe fast. Like on Opus, the fast thing is not as fast. Clearly a premium model, but this is actually competing with Opus in some ways, right?
Yeah. What would you use it for that you feel like it would compete with Opus on?
Like the brainstorming, like any real time thing, vibe coding in a way, but like it's not the design necessarily, but it could be iterating on a design. It could be like, hey, this is the design system. Let's just put things together. I would normally use Opus for that. I rarely switch to Haiku because I feel it's just not like it's fast, but like I just need a little bit more. And I feel this model it has a little bit more, which is interesting.
Yeah. Where are you right now on your like day-to-day building Cora? Like what's your model lineup? What are you using most?
I'm using two models, Opus 4.6 and Codex 5.3, both high effort.
What's the breakdown percentage?
50-50 actually, which is very surprising. Yeah. 50-50. And that is not because one is better than the other. It's more I'm used to like Claude more. Like it's better at certain things for sure, and there's still some things, but also I have to learn Codex a little bit. But they made it easier for me to learn Codex now because they leaned into the like the more friendly side, like more creative side, which is great. But but this is definitely one I will add. Like this is a new thing. Like I always wanted to use Composer in a CLI that where I have my component engineering flow. Like there is the cursor CLI, but that I it never worked there. So I'm now like, oh yeah, this is a new like it's a new thing I want to try out and see how it works. Like how can we use this? And that's really cool. So this is definitely a first thing where I'm like, okay, this is again exciting. I want to try out where this leads, what is this good for, what is it not good for. And it's good enough. Like it holds up for a lot of things, surprisingly.
Sorry, my internet cut out.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, I think people should know that it's a big deal that you're into Codex 5.3. It took you
Yeah.
a long time to like I think you were one of the first people to like really recognize how important Claude Code was with Opus, or the original Opus, like 3.5 or something like that, for
Hmm.
the changing of coding. And I think this is the first time I've seen you flip a little bit to be like, I'm adding this to my repertoire
Yeah.
in a way that's more than just for
Yeah,
the
like not testing or
yeah,
playing, but actually work. Yeah, I
yeah,
think yeah. So like I used GPT-4 obviously, but Sonnet 3.5 I just switched off. Like I was not using OpenAI until last week, really 5.3 and this one. Like it is the first time I use OpenAI for coding again after
yeah,
GPT-4. Yeah,
yeah. That's wild. So okay, so for people who are just joining, I want to give you like the full recap because we're at about 1,000-ish people, and if you haven't been on the stream yet, OpenAI just launched a new model. It's called Spark. It's GPT 5.3 Codex Spark. It's super fast. It's like the fastest model that I think I've ever tried. It like produces code basically instantly, and that changes a lot of things. We think it's not as smart as 5.3 Codex. It's not as smart as Opus 4.6. We've been using it internally. We've been testing it for the last week or so internally. Kieran's been using it for things like brainstorming because it's just like so fast. I've been using it a bit more for more like knowledge worky type queries or things that I have to do in my repo that don't require a ton of intelligence. So like, okay, write a changelog for all these features, or like clean this thing up or whatever, where it's I don't have to worry about getting every single thing right. I think OpenAI is building it a little bit more for vibe coding, and because it's a little bit less smart, I think it's better to use it in a more vibe codey type context. Some things that you should know that are public to some degree, but I think I learned these things yesterday from the team directly, and so I can share them with you now. And I think this is the only place you're going to hear this. So I'm glad that you're on the stream.
exclusive.
So aside from the fact that it's on Cerebras, which is public knowledge, a couple of things that I learned that I think are really, really interesting from this team. One is they had to slow this model down. So we're kind of blown away by the speed of this model, and they have actually artificially slowed it down in the Codex app because it was too fast. It was like disconcerting. And I think that should tell you something about where we're headed as like in terms of the speed of these coding models. I think this is gonna happen more and more and more for all sorts of models, especially as they start to roll out this new hardware. The second thing is it's so fast that it makes sense to use this model for voice, and they're moving to a world where they're probably going to like implement voice for this, where it's really good at interruptions and it's really good at handling turn taking and conversation. It's like fast enough that that's possible, and I think that's really, really, really cool. And what Kieran and I have been thinking about is, Kieran noted that it used to be that tool calls were the fast part, and now tool calls are actually kind of slower. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Kieran?
Yeah, normally like the tokens and the thinking, the working part, for example, feels like the slowest. But now the like since the tokens are just instant, suddenly you need to think about like sub agents were meant to make things faster. Like reading code was meant to be to make things faster. But now we're at a point where tokens generation is just faster than the coordination and orchestration. So there's this interesting thing that we're kind of back to the master prompt, where maybe if you have a very good master prompt and you put it in, like it's the fastest output. So like maybe we should rethink for certain cases, maybe to simplify our orchestration, because you have this trend of like the agent swarms and orchestration going on. But maybe there's another trend where it's like, let's simplify everything, just like get back to the roots of mega prompts in like gathering the right context and just saying, this is the thing, this are a multi-shot example, give me the output. And suddenly that's the most effective, efficient, fastest way to do things, which is really interesting because you don't have any overhead with like orchestration or handoff and all of that stuff.
That is really interesting, and it just I love that you identified that, and I think there's this larger thing happening where there are all these best practices that are changing all the time because the constraints are changing, so the bottlenecks are changing. So because the model is now so much faster, it changes some of the best practices around. Do you want to have a mega prompt versus do you want to like split it up and have a bunch of sub agents? And
Yeah.
this just happens every like 3 to 6 months now, and it's going to probably keep happening for a while. And I think it's like this new world of engineering where the constraints and the bottlenecks change all the time, so the practices that you use change all the time, and it's in order to take advantage of it, you just have to be willing to kind of like throw out your old stuff every 3 months and start over. And I think that's what all the model companies are doing. And probably not every piece of software needs to do that, but if you want to truly be working at the edge, which is kind of what we're interested in, that's sort of the model, which is fun and also it feels a little tiring.
Yeah, it is. It is, but also it feels. But it also feels like we just, yeah, like we go back to certain things. It's like things we knew and learned from before. We can just learn. Like it's also not new. Like that concept of a prompt. That's how we prompted GPT-4 and like stuff like that. So it is tiring, but also don't listen to like agent swarms. That's not what you need to do. That's the solution to everything. I think that the goal is to understand what problems they're all solving, and you create your version of like how you like to work, because everyone likes to work differently as well. Yeah, it's interesting. I can show you one other thing I've
Please.
on my screen here.
Yeah.
Like one thing, this is also very cool. I don't have hot reloading, but for some reason, but like this is a version, a prototype I'm working on for Cora, which is my product. And like normally this, yeah. So for example, like let's see, can you change the background to be green with some noise or something like that? Make it a little bit nicer. So just the speed in which this goes is, I mean, it's not nicer, but it is fast. So design sense, no, but okay, can you revert that? But let's do this. In the top, you can see we have all work and personal. Can you add 2 more and make sure that the overflow works? Keep the same design system. So my voice to text is now slower than the AI, which is interesting.
Someone tell Naveen.
Naveen, the tokens. So yeah, like this is also like for this kind of exploration where it doesn't need to be the best looking or where you have something already and want to do changes. This is very handy. And yesterday I was doing this in Claude Code with swarms, which was another way. Like I just had like 10 swarms work on different things at the same time and just like talk to each other, which is kind of a similar, like it will solve maybe a similar problem where you do things very quickly, but this might be like solving the same problem but in a different way, where like, well, you can do very hard orchestration and things, but you can also just do it very fast. And yeah, so it is fast. It reverted that, it added more, but I mean the design. Okay, so now Um, can you use the agent CLI to iterate over the header so it looks good?
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious to see how it does with this kind of design iteration.
Yeah, because like no one one shots things. Even Opus 4.6 doesn't one shot like the best version. The trick is, can you iterate?
Yeah. Is the agent CLI an agent CLI for Baby Cora, or is it something else?
No, sorry, that's the agent browser CLI from
I see. I see. From
Vercel, which is very good. I love that. But it's just a skill with the CLI. So okay, holy moly, okay? So all of that, it iterated 6 times.
Whoa.
That's sick. That's like, okay, mind blown. I'm literally mind blown here, because it doesn't matter if it's good or not, as long as it's like, if it can fix it. Okay, I'm going to do something. What else shall I do?
Let's keep going.
I
Let's make
want.
it better.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can you add 2 more categories? Clearly, it's not going to work then, so you need to come up with something else. Can you do 10 iterations on the selector and really make it slap?
What's the
And
selector?
I mean this, like, oh yeah, so this is showing all of your emails. So if you connect multiple accounts, you can go to your work email only, your
Yeah.
personal email, or family email. So you can switch between your emails, like either consolidated. So for Cora people out here, this is not decided we're doing this, but very likely we'll do a combined version of this as well. And this is also not the design. This is just okay.
10 agent browser iterations passed.
Holy moly. Okay, it ran it. I mean, one thing, it's crazy how fast it is. Uh, it's ridiculous. This is insane how fast this is. And and also this is because the agent browser CLI is headless, and it's also very fast and very efficient. I mean, it's not great, but let me just give directions. Okay, can you do 10 more iterations? Make sure that there's no overflow, because currently there's a lot of overflow, and also on the left there's some weird white stuff. So can you make sure, take your time. Actually, let me
Take
just,
your time.
I think
Slow down.
here, I was on medium. Let me go here. Let's go to high, because it's just too fast. There's just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I agree with the OpenAI team. Yeah. Okay, this seems better speed wise. Oh, but wait, but I suspect it's cheating here. So iterator, use this skill. Okay, I have a design it. Yeah, the design iterator skill basically says, hey, create a sub agent, do some work with whatever it said, and take a screenshot, critique it, and then do it again, and do that 10 times to make it better every time, to hone into that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And
did you see that context compaction? It took
it's
like
crazy. I didn't
instant.
even see it. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I hope it doesn't screw up handoff and anything like that, but like, OpenAI should fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's working, it's doing things quickly. Okay, this is already getting better. I don't love the design aesthetics,
Yeah.
but
But like also you're like you didn't give it a solution to the problem. You just said like figure it out and it like
no, I
fixed
said
it.
just make it work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I could have said like, this is not the like, and it's also a hard problem. Like, this is not
Yeah,
an
like I
easy
don't know how
problem.
I would have done that. Like what is even the right solution there? I don't know.
No, yeah, you could. Okay, let me do this. Actually, I don't know if this is the right solution. It looks a little bit messy. Can we maybe explore a drop-down solution so that it's adaptive? So when there are two connected, I think we can keep it what it was. But then if it's more, then we do drop-down. Whew, okay, saved that. It was doing stuff. Okay, so it is showing now here, which is also fun. We can show what the model is seeing.
Kieran, you should tweet about this UI iteration thing, because this is like a genuine discovery that I don't even know if the OpenAI team knows about.
I tweeted about this in November. I did a whole
No,
video
just with
about
this
this.
model. Just with this
Oh,
model.
with this model. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, yeah, I will make a thingy about this. Okay, so okay, it did something. It's still going. So
Can you click the drop down? I'm curious.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Ooh, I mean, yeah. But it's interesting, right? Like we can explore things way more quickly, and
yeah.
you don't see the design here. But then we go into like Gemini 3 Pro because that's the best for design. Why not? Or we go into Claude Opus 4.6 because it has a good design sense. We didn't load the design skill either here, so that makes it better as well. But yeah, like another thing that's interesting to try like this, and it's also like it's a little bit buggy, maybe. Like it is doing iterations.
Mm. Oh.
Hmm.
I wonder, it may not be clicking in to know that that's ugly.
Yeah, I think using an actual native dropdown is not the way to go. Can you make it styled? Use like React, Shed CN, like the stuff we have, please. And also let's load the design skill. Front-end design for the win. Yeah, and the goal is not that it gets it right now, but that the goal is that you just let it run and then like something good comes out of it. And
Yeah.
before like models were good enough, they would just do random shit and keep adding stuff and it would just be a mess. But like if a model's good, it keeps track of the goal, what it tries to do, and like slowly works towards it and notes. And I think the first time this worked well was with Opus 4.5. Actually, Sonnet 4.5, or yeah, I think Sonnet 4.5 was the first model that did this right. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, it's doing more. Like you see, it slowly. See, it's changing because there was like a weird overflow, and that fixed that now.
Hmm. Code Rushi asked, Kieran, can you do ask it to do 5 mockups, compare and contrast them with
Yeah,
annotations and then score them?
yeah, that's good. Okay, let's do that. I just am lazy. I copy your question in here. Oh, it did
Whoa.
it already.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I mean,
Ah.
you have to actually implement them, please, and take a screenshot and then compare them because, you know. So it came up with solutions and it said, let's do one, two, three. Yeah.
I think that's an interesting thing is like, and Code Rushi said like, mockups are
Mhm.
faster. Use HTML and CSS with data mocked. See all the mockups and then like pick the best mockup rather than like putting it in Baby Cora. Like if you want to do a bunch of design iterations, you can just
Yeah,
like,
sure. Yeah. But this is mock data. There's no real data. This is basically that. I just use React here instead of HTML. So like it is kind of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's do that as well. Actually, can you just do new pages, not in this? You can just do new pages in sub agents. Do 5 of them, and then look at them. Look at them with the agent browser, and then pick the winner, and then implement the winner in for this application. Okay, the model doesn't exist anymore. Ooh.
Oops. So while you're figuring that out, so David asked, "Can I use Codex Spark on OpenClaw?" That is the big question that that I had this morning too, and I was talking to the OpenAI team. So it's not available on the API yet. It's only available for select design partners. So we at Every have requested access to it, and I think we'll get it. So as soon as we get access to it, the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is put it on OpenClaw, and we will let you know exactly what we find. If you want to hear about that, go to every.to/subscribe. It's almost an hour into it's over an hour into this live stream, and I have not even said anything about Every yet. So I got to say, Every is the only subscription you need to stay at the edge of AI. If you are feeling like it's hard to keep up, if you're feeling anxious about all the different coding models, subscribe to Every. We've got you covered. Every time there's a new model launch, we have vibe checks like this one where we tell you exactly what to use it for and what not to use it for, so you can kind of tune out the noise and just get your work done. So as soon as we get OpenClaw, as soon as we get Codex Spark in the API, we will use it on OpenClaw and tell you what we find. Every.to/subscribe. Kieran, how are things going?
The remote compact task is failing because the model doesn't exist. Spark does look at screenshots, I believe, but that's what I instructed it to do. With
yeah, it definitely does. It
yeah,
definitely does.
yeah.
Although I had trouble getting it to use images in testing yesterday or 2 days ago. So maybe they updated that, but it wasn't
Let me.
using
Yeah.
in my testing.
Yeah, browser CLI. Okay, let's see. Take screenshot with agent browser CLI. I think they have some capacity issues or some
Yeah,
issues. Yeah, it's
just down.
yeah, it's down because maybe the web sockets. Yeah, I think it's down. Maybe that's the like the end of the stream then. But what do you think? Do
It
you
could be. We've been at it for a little longer than we expected anyway. Yes, I think we'll end the stream here. We got to get back to work. You got to get back to work, or whatever it is that you're doing. Just remember, if you want to be at the edge of AI, you have to stay hydrated. So make sure you're hydrating today. Make sure you subscribe to every.to/subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to Quora. If you're into what Kieran was just building, we're going to have a whole new inbox experience coming out soon. It's an AI agent that sits in your inbox and helps you do your email. So check out Quora.computer. And yeah, stay hydrated, everybody.
And you also get access to Quora when you subscribe to Every
That's
for
true.
free, which is great. Thank you,
So
everyone.
go to Every. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time a model drops.
See you then.